Y vamos a seguir con más música way old school. We've got a lot of information about, hay mucho que ver y mucho que hacer a través de los últimos meses ya del año.
Yep.
Y
se nos va pronto.
Ahora.
Se nos va pronto. Bueno, se empezó el Manolo Diabólico con sus rolas que me mandó, and I was like, first thing I was thinking, okay, flashback.
Yeah.
Pero cuando acoplé las rolas que yo escogí, I noticed like, wait, he's going for something a bit more funky. Maybe it was more tailored. I don't know. Whatever. En los 90s, contábamos en mi vecindad, there was so much hot damn and Silver Bullet and Tampico drinking that, like, I don't even remember, like, yeah, I'm surprised we're still alive.
Yeah.
Anyways, vamos a ir con una rola that blew my mind. Me acuerdo muy bien.
Yeah.
The only part I don't remember, was it Sashmill, Manolo, or was it the Nickelodeon? Cuando fuimos a ver la película de The Gift.
Oh, I think that might have been Sashmill.
I want to say Sashmill.
Yeah.
Era 1992 y fuimos a ver el documentary de Jane's Addiction que hizo Perry Farrell, called The Gift. Okay. Y tenía muchas rolas de Jane's Addiction en vivo, en Los Ángeles, whatever. Pero tenía footage of him going to Tijuana and DF. And in los dos lugares, there was an opening band or main support to Jane's Addiction.
Yeah.
And it was Maldita Vecindad. And I remember seeing this on en la pantalla grande, and I was like, what the is this?
Yeah.
And it was like, and Perry Farrell just kept going on and on about how amazing Maldita was to him and Jane's Addiction. And then he took him on tour.
Man,
I'll
tell you, it's amazing to see what's happening right now with Maldita Vecindad.
And paz descanse el sax, because the sax was an amazing saxophone player. Y esta rola is an exemplary version of his chops. Anyways, I don't know if you haven't heard of Pachuco from Maldita Vecindad, then you've been living under the rock, because even Thalia does a pretty darn good version of Pachuco.
Slugurkin does a pretty good version too.
Y they did an amazing version of Pachuco's Maldita Vecindad, aquí en mi vecindad.
So we're going to be at a pub next week. And first we played Cervezca and now Pachuco. And again, everything about the song. And
well, this is a flashback to like 95, 96, you know, en las calles de Santa Cruz, Watsonville y Salinas. Y hasta San Jose, no manches. You know?
Yeah, and like I was telling you, what's happening with Maldita Vecindad right now. It's amazing.
I saw some footage of them playing a couple of years ago in un festi, and it was off the.
They're killing it. They're killing it. You know, I mean, it's just muy increíble. I mean, everything about it is it's amazing. Y el intro de Pachuco y el outro de Cervezca, you know, and like everything about the sound bites.
You see, I quiero que regrese Manolo, because I thought the set was totally different.
What do you mean totally different?
I thought, a ver, Manolo, correct me. I thought, enchúfate, güey. Manolo, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought the set was set up to where I thought the opening song, iba a ser Pachuco, cut into dialogue, and then go into the next rola. It's a long rola también, and it can go as a one-off. And I was going like, yeah, man, that works totally fine. It works totally good. I didn't know anyways.
Yeah. Porque Cervezca wasn't on the playlist. So I thought que, you know what? It was kind of interesting. Like I figured maybe G would play something in the beginning and then Pachuco Transgresadores. And then at the end, your last song that's on the list being a one-off.
When it's supposed to be a one-off. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they're way too damn long, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, Alexi. Wait, who has a one-off then?
I do.
Órale. I see your one-off. I see it is. Okay.
Esta rola is like 5.5 minutes.
It's a great song.
And actually, edición especial, right?
It doesn't matter. I looked. I juggled 7-8 songs de ellos, and they were all between 4.5 and 7.5 minutes. So it didn't matter. I finally just go, screw it. I'm just going to put on one.
But you know what's interesting? Like even for example, which album was it? The one El Espíritu del Vino.
El Vino, the double EP.
And looking up for a song, I wanted to listen to the original version, and the only version you can find is like the remastered version.
Yeah,
which to me, they sound great, but sometimes they sound a little too clean, which makes it sound different.
Not as full. They're not as bassy.
Yeah. It's like, no, man, I want to listen to the OG version, man.
Yeah. When I hear Transgresores de la Ley, talking about OG versions.
When I think of Tijuana, no. I think of international grupazo that was Pueblo and always kicked it in our rancho.
Yeah.
Because of all the big bands that we ever had come through El Norte de California, Tijuana no would always stay at your house, my house, Rulas's house, everywhere. Like they never cared. Y siempre eran amigazos de pueblo.
They were true to their mission.
Yeah. Y cuidado si llevabas a la novia, güey.
¿A la novia?
Pity the fool que llevaba a la novia porque he might not go home with her. To a Tijuana no show, dude.
Or the worst thing is
¿Llevaba la novia de quién?
One time we were playing San Jose State. It was Caradura opening up, Lodo main support, and Tijuana no. Right? Amazing show.
On campus?
That almost did not happen.
It was at the theater or on campus? Where was it?
I can't remember where it was. And I'll tell you why I can't remember where it was. It almost didn't happen because most of us couldn't play. We were that.
Oh, new?
We were that screwed up in the parking lot. It was. We were out of control. Like it was entre lo que era Bolillo.
Yes.
Felix was being like the stage manager. Yeah. He was trying to like get everybody out of the car, out of the van. Ya, párenle, babosos. And Rulas was like,
he was being responsible.
No,
not
Rulas.
Rulas.
What are you talking about, dude? Like,
no. Felix.
Yeah, he was trying to be in control.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like Luis, Luis was just down with everybody, like.
Yeah.
He's like, ya cállate, you punk rocker, get over here, pégale esto. Anyways, it was a wonderful show. Tijuana No did an amazing performance.
As always.
Yeah.
They were good like that.
Yeah, this song, Profesores de la Ley, it just hit. It just hit everything about that nerve at the time,
Mhm.
cuando, you know, todo lo que estaba pasando en Chiapas,
Mhm.
en México, aquí en California, you know, and it was just increíble y siempre, pues, they are raza, you know, they were true to their mission. They were true to it.
They still kept, even though they were on a major label, selling out small arenas. Punk rockers to the end.
Yeah.
Man, did we punk rock with them.
It was some crazy times.
Yeah. Beautiful times.
Mientras que no se ha solucionado las cosas. Mientras que existe el hambre, la miseria, las enfermedades y toda clase de injusticia, nos vamos a comprometer a entregar las armas.
Tijuana no, transgresores de la ley. Both Tijuana no and Maldita, to us, aquí en mi vecindad, en lo que era 93 a 95, were inspirations, legit, real deal. I mean, Manny just reminded me, like, one of our local hero bands, Slow Gherkin, on one of like their trips to Mexico porque eran surfer los güeyes, picked up un pinche cassette Maldita, and they loved Pachuco, and these white cats, wonderful guys, white cats, white as can be, learned Pachuco and covered it.
And the kids went fucking nuts.
Yeah. And I was like, what the is going on with these vatos, dude?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And we were at their house partying one night, and I'm like, where did you find these? So like, we were at some bar in Rosarito, was it? Somewhere down like with, you know, surfing. And someone gave us this cassette and we loved it. So we were just covering it. We don't know who they are.
Yeah.
And I was like, amazing. Anyways, después de eso, Tijuana no, transgresores de la ley. We were sharing stories de Luis y compañía. Wonderful times aquí cuando viene en gira. Anyways, flashing back de lo que era mi vecindad a los principios, a los mediados de los 90s. I'm going to keep it going with some of my favorite brands. The pedo is that we would need como 6 horas para tocar nuestras bandas favoritas de esa época. It would be impossible. So Manolo made it really difficult. So I had to pick like randomly, you know? So I'm going to go with another one of my favorites, Ataque 67, con una canción that's been dear to my heart forever, Cuánta Cerveza.
Aquí en mi vecindad, la banda Elástica Radio y DiavloVision. It's all about Ciro, dude.
Man.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
The real and the old and the school.
The OG Ataque.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I can't get into him not being in it.
Yeah.
Este güey.
¿Cuál?
Hey, mándame el Bala. No.
Hombre Bala?
Hombre Bala is like, I'm telling you, he needs to jump on right now.
¿Qué te
Serio
mando, güey?
pedo.
¿Qué te mando?
Okay.
Share, cabrón.
He's all, ¿qué hubo? Love this conversation. Está chambeando. Just wanted to say how much I love this. Anyways.
Nice.
I mean, can you imagine the stories that he can share with me? Because as bad as that we got in with Tijuana No, Lodo, and a bunch of other bands in the old Caradura days was scary. Because I don't know if half of the time, like, you guys were all messed up too.
Nah.
And how many times did Manny ended up in jail?
Nah.
3, 4?
I know he got kicked out of a couple houses.
Oh,
Banned from a couple houses.
I want to make it clear that I'm not sure what you're talking about. Was I there?
You were there at most of them, dude. But you're always being like,
PR
you're always the
PR
you're always
guy.
the promoter. You're always the backstage hand, running the ticket office and like the money guy. So it's like
I was always doing something related.
Responsible, man. Responsible. Yeah.
At the
I
beginning,
had no responsibilities.
Hey,
dude, so
send me the
nobody
link,
got
dude.
money.
that's true.
Send me the Zoom link.
That's true. I mean, I have always been
You have it,
incredibly
Manolo?
responsible.
Send it to my like,
Zoom link.
Yeah.
text it to me.
Ah, shit.
I'm trying to get Hombre Bala on, dude. I've been trying to get that homie on for like months.
Hey, G, send him the Zoom link because I have it on my computer.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's talk about fucking Ataque and Ciro.
You know what? Imelda is like talking about it. Juan Antonio El Bala, Hombre Bala, is talking about it. Gina's all like Tampico.
Dude, all those motherfuckers were there, dude.
Yeah.
Let's hear their stories.
Wait, how do I share this link, dude?
Cuánta cerveza. Just copy and paste, fucker. Oh, you know what? Let me send it to him.
You send it to him. You got his phone number.
So Hector,
Ataque 77, cuánta cerveza.
Don't go live yet, dude. We still got another song, dude.
Yeah.
I was just gonna ask you, dude, which one was the first album we listened to from Ataque?
There he is. He's coming on. It's about
Órale.
time, dude.
Which one was the first album we listened to from Ataque?
There he is.
What's up? What's up? Which one was the first album we listened to from Ataque? What's
There
up?
he is. Yeah.
Hombre Bala in the house. What up, brother?
Hey, fellas.
Qué bonito, eh?
Dude, I've been lurking for the longest time, you guys. I've been just kind of like reliving. Dude, I've been lurking for the longest time, you guys. I've been just kind of like reliving. Dude, I've been lurking.
Turn off your radio, dude. There you go. Órale.
Got a little bit of a delay. Yeah.
Radio, dude.
Turn off my radio. How do I do that?
There you go. Órale.
Bájale el volumen on the radio.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
Okay,
We're old
so
for
I
it.
just want to say I've been lurking this for the longest time. This show, since it's been back on, has brought me back to 96, 97 and my discovery of Mi Vecindad at UCSC. And
Wow.
I just want to say how much I appreciate you cats still going through, man. You guys
Yeah,
played a
if
huge
I could,
part
I'd
in
hug
my
you and
musical
kiss you right
journey.
now through that screen, man.
Pues aquí estamos, dude. You guys have played a huge part in my musical journey. Not that I have one, but you guys.
Yeah, what are you talking about, dude?
You guys were instrumental in every aspect of my likes. So I just wanted to convey that to you guys. So.
Stop it. Now, the surprise that lo que hizo Dr. G is he didn't have it on the set list. He played the O Caradura's Cervezca song as the opening song. And me and Manny were like, we can't hear it. So we don't know what's going on. And I'm thinking it's like, we're talking about Maldita Vecindad, man. Right. It's their way, dude.
Well, I got the text. It was like, hey, I'm playing Caradura. I'm like, I'm logging in right now.
All right, vatos. You just acaban de escuchar a Cadena Perpetua buscando salidas. All right, guys. Cadena Perpetua.
Yeah.
Punk as homies. They stayed at the old Caradura house for how many weeks? Like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hella cool people.
We took them everywhere. I remember that one show we played in downstairs in the living room. Okay. En la tarde. And then the guys from Delirio and man, ¿cómo se llaman los güeyes que tienen los bochos?
Servicio militar.
Servicio militar. They hit us up. They called. And I think Hot Tub started talking to him. And he's all like, I don't know. They just played a show right now. And did you talk to him too? Or was it me being a dick?
No, it was all
that was all you being a dick, bro.
Okay. I remember just getting on the phone going like, they can, but they need $300. I go, they need some money now. They need money. I go, we made them. how much are we making? Like $400, just like the handouts that we got.
The handouts, yeah.
Okay. And I'm like, they'll totally go over there, but they need to get paid. Hook it up.
I remember, was that
And we jumped into the cars and we went straight to Salinas and we played another, a whole other party. And they made tons of money,
There was a few times when I remember we were trying to gather like equipment, like PA equipment.
Yeah.
And in your living room, somehow we ended up with like stereo speakers from someone's house,
Random stuff.
Amp, and at least 2 microphones. Right? And the mosh
weird stuff would
happened,
end up ahí en el cantón, and weird stuff would disappear.
Well, I remember you covered all your comics. I remember you at least covered them.
Well, you got it, or the vinyl, dude, the vinyl.
And his record
Okay,
shelf.
now that I have another caradura in here, how bad was that show that we did with Tijuana No and Lo de Asfalto at San Jose State? Do you remember that we got all too hammered, and in the back of the car, it was Rulas and Luis.
That was a recipe for what could have been a disaster. These cats were pounding, they were like, you guys were like what you guys mentioned earlier, they were real punk rockers. And when you threw something in front of them, they were not going to say no.
No.
So we're pre-gaming for, I don't know, maybe 3 hours before the doors even opened. And I don't know how we made it, to be honest with you.
Stamina, brothers.
We shouldn't have.
Stamina.
Okay, the thing is that Caradura and Lodo were used to playing
together.
Yeah. Well, y también borrachos, and we can get sloppy, and we could
100%.
and we could fake it, Tijuana kept partying, and they showed up and they played at a whole other level.
Absolutely.
It was just like
they're like, ooh, you minor leaguers. This is how you do
it. Dude. I was just like,
yeah. They were our fathers.
Yeah.
It
was amazing. It was amazing.
We were Luke and they were Darth Vader. They were our father,
So we're gonna keep esta conversación going off the air. We got to keep playing music because we got time restraints.
Let's go.
I didn't want to hijack you guys' show today.
No. Te dije, wait. You always have an open door, brother. Always have an open door. Okay, vamos a ir con Héroes de Silencio. Is one of those bands that people love to love and love to hate, and sometimes would not admit that they love to hate them or listen to them. But we didn't care. They rocked out with their cocks out. I remember that one show that we went to go see in San Pancho was in Oakland, where it was like nobody there.
San Francisco.
No, was it
San Francisco?
No, was it San Francisco? Or wasn't it like right before, like San Leandro or something? It was like
Algo así, yeah, it was somewhere in the East Bay.
Oh, in the East Bay.
There was like 100 people there because it was the promotion was shit. There was nobody there, dude. Like, anyways, Héroes del Silencio, Avalancha is to me a classic. You couldn't do a rockero show in 95, 96, and not hear this song on the speakers. Héroes del Silencio, Avalancha.
Mi vecindad.
Boom. That's it, Tony. That's all we do here.
Thanks, you guys. I appreciate it. Like I said, I don't want to hijack your show, but I just wanted to say how much I appreciate it. Seriously.
No. Yeah.
You're welcome. The link is always active. You could always jump on.
All right,
I'm
gonna set that aside.
Hey, Tony, have you been listening to some of the newer stuff we've been playing?
Yeah, absolutely. That, like, a lot of stuff that I'm getting turned on to, like I was 30 years ago, I'm getting turned on to it by now. I just don't have the time to do the research, so I'm actually using you cats to hit me to what's fucking cool right now.
Which is that's all we do.
Yeah, no, I know.
I nerd out at work when I got time, dude. When I'm at work and I got 10 minutes, I'm like,
your guys' musical abilities, the nerd aspect of it, dude, I always gravitated towards, and it's still there. You know what I mean? People tend to fucking graduate from their nerdism, but you guys haven't. That's why I fucking love.
What are you talking about, Willis? You're the same.
I know. We.
He's trying to act like
right.
He's not the nerd in the room, dude. Like,
no, I know, but that's why I kind of hide in the back and listen to you guys and take notes. So
you know how much of a nerd I am, dude. Ayer, I took some screenshots of an emulator handheld that I got.
Oh, me lo mandó. He's like, look what I got.
Playing WWF No Mercy. Right? And I sent it to her. And Manuel was like, what is this? But I'm like, check it out, dude. I could put it in my pocket and I'm playing
You take it out and you're playing an emulator. Tan mal,
Yeah.
it's tan mal.
If we would have had that on tours, that it would have made it. So
I
much
know.
more.
I wouldn't leave
Right?
the fucking van. Absolutely.
Dude.
Fuck out of here.
Back in the day during tours, we would just read our books.
Well,
I mean,
either
yeah,
that or-
books,
either that or
books.
beating our meat, dude.
yeah.
You know what I mean? But imagine if you had a Game Boy or a DS.
I did for one of the
Thanks,
couple of tours I did. I was that homie. Except we got it ripped off in Mexico. Our
Oh, you
maletas.
serious?
Yeah, it sucked, dude. Yeah, we had to play in the same chonies for like 4 or 5 days, dude. A couple of shows. It was swampy, dude. It was.
Oh my god.
You guys remember the Drink and Drown at the Silver Bowl?
Yeah.
That's what Manolo was saying in the beginning. He's all flashback to Silver Bullet, dude. Like, yeah.
That's how we would pregame the
Yeah,
shows.
And then that's when you guys go to shows and then fucking
Tampicos.
and then catch you guys super drunk right after.
At Tampicos, yeah.
And it's like, Tony, you need to catch up, brother. You need to catch up.
And I usually did, but then I you know. But no, seriously, you guys, I think a lot of what I know and a lot of what I've done has basically been because of Mi Vecindad 96, 97. You know, I was hanging out with these metalheads, dude, who listened to Metallica, and that's how I got turned on to fucking music, you know. But I never knew cats who went to Gilman that were let alone raza. Fuck out of here, you know.
Yeah.
So I was hanging out with a bunch of white folks, you know, listening to rock music. But then when you guys turned me on to like shit that was sung in Spanish, that was it.
Blew our mind. Yeah. It was the same thing for us a few years prior to that. It was like a total. For the people that don't know, Juan Antonio Cuellar, El Hombre Bala, has been a legendary instrumental musician in Northern California, rock en español, since, was it 96 that we started?
I mean,
Yeah. Well, it was.
Gee, when did you book that recording session for Mi Sociedad or Sociedad? That was when I jumped on with you guys.
It's been like 95.
95.
96, 95?
Or 96.
Around there.
That was my entry.
Because you were still living in LA.
No, it was 90. It was 90. It was 90 because I had finished school in 95.
96.
And a year later, it was around the time I went to Atlanta.
Because I was already
96.
convincing Alberto, su carnal de Juan Antonio. He was already like jumping on from before. Yeah. Anyways.
And that weekend when we recorded Sociedad, I went back home to LA, quit my job, and drove up to Watsonville to join Caradura.
Oh, that's right. Well, you were cooking.
I'm so sorry, bro.
I was a fucking executive
cool.
chef, dude. I was fucking, dude. I was cooking for the stars, dude.
Yeah,
you were like on a boat or some shit, right?
No, he was in
Sony Pictures
in Hollywood, dude.
I was cooking for Sony Pictures. I was cooking for Matt Groening and the Simpsons cast and crew.
Yeah.
Oh, Matt Groening. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
I left all that because you guys said, "Hey, we need you."
I'm so sorry, dude. Yeah. I apologize.
I think my life is better because of it, dude. Now it's all music, dude. And Manolo, dude, I gotta shout you out, dude, because you pulled me aside and you had your distro, right? You and Chivo had your distro. You guys were distroing at Gilman, and you gave me 3 fucking albums that changed my fucking life.
Wow, which ones were they? Do you remember?
ABC Diavolo.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Flipped my wig.
Yeah.
That thing flipped my wig, dude. That was an entry point to like Profane Existence.
Yeah.
To Manumission.
That's a collector's item, bro.
It is.
So I have 3 copies of it. So thank you. And then you gave me a current Indian Summer 7-inch.
Órale.
It was a split, Indian Summer and current. And you know que esa rola from Indian Summer got covered by una banda en rusa.
Turning on mics.
It's amazing. Look it up, dude. It's amazing. Eso fue Héroes del Silencio, Avalancha. I would try to do Bonburi's vocals, but I cannot. So I'm not even going to do it justice.
Who can, man?
Who can?
Just
yeah.
Bonburi.
Yeah. For people that don't know, Héroes del Silencio in los 80s was probably the epitome of
rock god.
Alternativo.
Rock god.
I mean, the closest thing that I could compare Héroes to is the Cult.
Yeah.
Early Cult was very you know, goth rock, you know, and then all of a sudden they flipped out and they went AC/DC. And something similar happened con Héroes del Silencio, you know, with each evolution of their album, they just started going, their hair started getting longer, their buckles started getting bigger, you know?
They started wearing fucking cowboy hats.
Cowboy hats, the rock started coming. It just turned into like some serious rock, you know? Anyways, so that was
your set.
My sets for before. I mean, it was just a snippet snapshot of Mi Vecindad de 95 por ahí, 96, from Maldita Vecindad, Pachuco. I mean, you weren't on the air when we were talking about Slow Gherkin's version of
totally
of Pachuco. Amazing. I just listened to Talia's version of Pachuco with.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, check it out. It's different. It's not for everybody. But and she also does one versión de Hombres G.
Something's happening.
Chica. Yeah, something's happening.
I'll tell you this, that when I'm with my suegra and I'm listening to like, or just she's watching televisión, Tele Galaxia Visión or whatever, right? And there's like this 90s movement. Like a lot of the stars from the 90s are all of a sudden like they have shows now from like the 90s, quién sabe qué.
The 90s is hip. Like mis hijas.
Well, okay.
They want to dress like the 90s. And I'm like, oh, man, we were there, dude. Like you just like.
This is my thought. These are my thoughts. And this is, you know, me thinking too much, maybe. A couple things, you know, we're listening to la música de los 90s. We, you know, back then we were just like, it turned us on, especially like Héroes and Diabólico, you know? And I was thinking, wait, this is what's happening. The majority of the people that are still watching TV are those folks from the 90s. Think about it. So what are they going to play on fucking TV?
What gets lost in all of this is la generación, dude. In los 90s, we're talking about Gen X. Gen X is the smallest generation that gets overlooked.
And that's all of us.
Pero look at it. The impact that they had then and the impact that they're having now. Smallest population, pero hugely represented in the culture.
Yeah. Well,
shout out to Gen X.
I'll take it.
I love it. I love Héroes. I'm going to continue to enjoy it. I was just with Los Fabulosos Cadillacs this past weekend. Great show. Auténticos open and Cadillacs. And Vicentico had a cane on. I don't know sure the props, but it got me to think, and Emilio from Hablando de Elástica, saludos, y saludos a toda mi gente de los que nos visitaban en Tampicos. Gina, un saludo. Man, people are tuning in and talking about Tampicos. They literally like
flashbacks. It's like
back. So Vicentico, I was talking to Emilio and realizing, man, we're at that age where this music is 30 years old. Let's continue. Let's enjoy it. Let's live it. Seguimos.
So my set list fue inspirado por el set que tuvimos la semana pasada. There were some rolas on there that, you know, just really touched us all. So este set va a empezar con Caifanes, La Célula que Explota, del álbum El Diablito que salió en 1990. Huge band, Saúl Hernández, un pinche ídolo rockero, y empezaron en el 87 banda del DF y ya estaban pegando. Empezaron con el sonido British New Wave, Progressive Rock, Death Rock, pero una cosa sucedió en diciembre del 88 que les cambió la trayectoria a esta banda. Hicieron una cover de la rola La Negra Tomasa que resultó en ser a huge hit in Mexico, and that all of a sudden
that guy, las abuelas dancing.
Just exploded. Just exploded.
Se le enseñé a mi jefa, en paz descanse, y mi tía, la güereja, and they loved it. You know, they were listening to it. They loved that jam.
Yeah.
You know, in fact, they used to love a lot of the stuff that I would turn on, from Arterciopelados to even Maldita and stuff like that. I mean, they were open to like el rock, and then they talk about their rockero days back in the 60s, which is different, but you know, it's all good. but flashing back. Caifanes, aquí, en mi vecindad.
So check this out, Tony. My block was inspired by lo que tocamos la semana pasada, pero I took it in a little bit sexier, funkier realm. So I got 4 songs.
You're either dark or you're sexy.
Se las mandé a estos güeyes y
I just shared it with
I labeled it para que se mochen, man. It's like, come on, man.
Los amigos invisibles. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It's classic love music. I mean, it's sexy.
Classic love music.
I mean,
Did you remember
don't get
seeing
Manolo
him in
started,
San Francisco, Hombre Bala?
We caught him at the Independence, dude. And I was dressing the whole time I was there. You know,
he was wearing white pants, right? The singer was wearing white pants.
Wearing white pants that float at the bottom. I mean,
yeah. That was an intense show.
And so I'm Manolo's channeling his inner sexy 1990s.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh,
Regularly. This is normal. Normal.
It makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Love it.
Don't stand up because he's probably not wearing anything or wearing some.
So when Chivo came back and he's like, "Oh, this is a flashback set," and I was like, "Yeah, that's the very adult thing to say." Exactly.
But imagine being like a clean palette and listen to it now. It's sexy, dude.
Yeah.
It's different. It's different.
Yeah.
Like we love ragging on our homie Gustavo Santaloa.
Yeah.
I love ragging on that.
I know. Easy target.
I asked Emilio about it. And you know what Emilio, you know what he said? Facebook out there or YouTube or wherever we're logged into right now. He said that what's going on is this guy really does understand how things move in the industry. So if he sees bands that are not industry company, worthy,
marketable.
Yeah, and exactly. So to him, it just like he probably doesn't have time and all that. Basically, he's telling us what we've been saying.
Pero what the bands are now, they're like, homie, we don't need you.
You're right. Good point.
I don't know. Like, Hombre Bala and I had a conversation when we hooked up a couple months back here in Guatemala at a show, and we shared the same stuff that we've talked here on the radio before. Que I feel que la música de los últimos cuantos años, en un nivel mundialmente, nuestro idioma, is at worst at par on the 90s, and if not, head and shoulders above it.
100%.
And I'm not being derogatory about it, because most of us here on this pantalla all play bands in the 90s. So we're from that generation. I'm saying it as an open book, but as a fan también, que la música that I've been sharing with all of you over the last few years has been blowing my mind.
Would you say that
as un viejo que tiene 50 años, dude, like I just turned today.
Happy birthday.
Oh yeah, feliz cumpleaños, güey. That's right.
Yeah, this is what I'm doing. This is what
Chivo.
But it's la música, dude. The música is like I remember like in the back of La Caradura having drunk conversations with Hombre Bala over like, what are we gonna do if this doesn't pan out, if this doesn't happen?
Mm-hmm.
And both him and I kept going for 15 years, even past that.
Yeah.
And I can honestly say, and maybe this speaks for you también, Antonio. We hit all our dreams. My dreams weren't that, like, my dreams were pretty damn realistic.
Yeah.
Or at least for me, because I came from that little kid that used to go to the Gilman show.
Yeah.
And when I used to go see like, bands, ¿te acuerdas? Manolo would be there and there would be nobody there.
Yeah.
And I'd be there like, if I can play in front of 5 people, or better yet, I say, I want to play the Gilman.
Right.
And we did it,
Nelson Center, fucking
Yeah,
you know, like,
you know what, our goals were attainable because we kind of grew up in a small microcosm that we didn't need 50,000 people in front of us.
no.
You know, we just needed 5 fucking friends.
And one beautiful thing about lo que era Caradura, what became La Plebe and what became the Heavers, is I always felt that we all agreed to the same principle,
100%.
whether it be 5 people, 500 or 5,000, the show's going to be the same. It's not going to be any different. And you're going to go out there and do it.
Play for the bartender and the guy checking IDs. Yep. You play the same.
Hey, you guys are cutting yourself short because la verdad is that all 3 bands that you just named, Caradura, La Plebe, those Dry Heavers, think of what they did for Northern California.
I know, but it's kind of hard when we're like, when yo and Antonio, like, sometimes we sit there like, we kind of know, but at the same time, it's like, you know, like, I think that's what makes us pretty damn good is like, I always know I'm going to get pulled up and like tights are going to get pulled and I'm going to be counted to 3. You know, it's going to happen, bro. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, wrestling terminology.
I think that the beauty of it is that we're approaching our success in the same way. Con humildemente, but, you know, passing on the torch. But, you know, going back to what you were saying about the music in the 90s, and today, I'm getting that same feeling about today that I was getting in the 90s. Whenever you guys turn me on to a CD, hey, check out Ilya Kuriaki, vámonos. Check out Babasónicos, let's go.
Yeah,
I'm getting that same excitement, dude. When you guys, you know, hit me to some cool punk rock from España.
Well, when you think of ABC Diablo, go listen to the first 2 albums, the Via Belgrado.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Okay, Carne y Flor. And what's the other one, Manolo?
Oh man, it's the
29 Mike,
the big one. Okay. Si no saben, cabrones, you guys just listen to Ruby Draco Rosa.
Manolo's man crush for 25 years.
That's true. That is very true.
It's very true.
Esa rola se llama Más y Más, que salió en el álbum Mad Love del 2004. Multiple time Grammy winner, Latin Grammy winner, singer, songwriter, producer, instrumentalist. Once upon a time, at 14 years old, he started his career with Menudo, but we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about...
I want to talk about Revolución 95. Okay. I remember showing up to that.
In San Jose?
He played in San Jose.
Him in the chair, man. Him in the chair.
We were there, and we had nuestro amigazo, el Calin. Well, I don't know that. Remember Sketchy Calendar? You got kicked out of everywhere, dude. Anyway, so we're rolling in hard.
Did he was always like military, right? He was always ready to like.
He's ex-military, yeah. And an NYC hardcore kid. So I mean, you mix that together.
Yep. Chromatic.
Anyways, jeez. So we were watching todas tus bandas, and then de repente se sube Draco on stage, and all there is a chair. And homie grabs the chair, flips it backwards, and just plays ¿qué? Como 5 rolas? 6 rolas?
Yeah, it was quick, yeah.
Acoustic electric. Okay? So it was electric guitar, but him by himself, and he played renditions of sus rolas, and he walked off stage. And all the rumors that I heard is that he went to go shoot up again.
Yeah, he was on Smack.
Yeah, he was speaking.
But it was a magical performance.
It's one of those moments, man. If I could go back, slow time, that's one of the moments where I would do it.
Yeah. Am I wrong for thinking that made him cooler? I mean, am I wrong for thinking that? Because
I'm getting goosebumps.
Not at all.
Yeah, no, right. And I remember hearing this story, dude. I'm like, dude, this guy wanted to go shoot up right after.
To me, he went from like being, it's all right, the legendary in one show. I was like, homie just did this. Like okay, La Escena hated it.
Right.
All those pasty goth chicks all that, whatever.
They wanted 45 minutes. They wanted an hour of him.
They walked away like, no, yeah, you know.
They went home.
And I remember going
unfulfilled.
like, I go, this homie just killed it.
Absolutely.
And this is like, I'm coming from my heavy punk rocker days, but I'm going like, este way just killed it.
Yep.
And didn't care.
Yeah.
That's what drew me to him. Before I was like, ex menudo.
Yeah.
Then this cat was like,
he flipped it 180, man.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
anyway, cats, I do have to go, and I do appreciate your time and patience, you guys.
Antonio,
Great.
anytime.
having
You
you.
don't need an invite. Just jump on.
Thanks, fellas. I appreciate you. I love you. Here's a virtual hug. I'll see you guys again, okay?
Big time. Love you too.
Nos vemos, canales.
Nos vemos
Nos
en
vemos.
Guayaquil next week.
All right. So this next one's going to go out to you, Toño.
Okay. So,
All right.
fuera del aire, I was talking to the boys y les dije, you know, sharing what influenced este set list fue inspirado por el set de la semana pasada. Cuando se los mandé, el título de este set list que les mandé fue para que se mochen.
Pero se mochen qué?
Pues para que se dejen caer, man. Just relax. Just go with it.
See, I didn't get the sexiness of it. I got the flashback of it. Because to me, it was just
so
un
now
típico set.
Yeah, you know what? Thank you for saying that, porque la verdad, I'll be very honest. I was thinking more like flashback. I really was.
Okay, well, let me bring you to the sexiness. So we're about to listen to Los Amigos Invisibles, el nombre de la canción. Come on, guys. Sexy. Del álbum The New Sound of the Venezuelan Gozadera. What was that? 91? 90? No, salió en 98.
94?
Yeah, 90. It was after because
yeah.
I remember
Francisco.
Evo Dominic from Carolina, he used to love Amigos Invisibles.
Dude,
like he was a
all
huge
used to love
fan.
him.
Yeah. Anyways, Sexy. Los Amigos Invisibles. Mi vecindad.
Dude, that was fucking rad that Tony jumped on, man. I haven't seen that guy in forever.
It made a wonderful flashback, especially for this set. You know, I've been trying to get that vato dude for like months. You know,
it's good that he jumped on.
Yeah, it's good, dude. You know, same con Agi and who else has surprised us in the last couple months?
Hot Tub hasn't.
Hot Tub. I've been begging Hot Tub.
Yeah, me too.
Years, dude.
I told him we were gonna be in Watsonville next week. I told him. I said, he comes to Watsonville often enough that he can do a Thursday and come over. And so a ver qué pasa. Estamos escuchando a Sexy, Los Amigos Invisibles, bajo nuestras voces a través de La Banda Elástica Radio. If you want to listen to the music, you have to tune in through La Banda Elástica Radio on labandaelástica.com or 365 Live, 365. Ahí están los connects, los links en el Face de Mi Vecindad, DiavloVision y La Banda Elástica. So when this came out, you're right. It was, I think we needed that change because we were listening to a lot of really aggressive music at the time.
Yeah.
When this album came out,
punk.
I remember like Animal was huge, Molotov was huge.
Right.
Babasónicos got really aggressive all of a sudden.
Yeah.
It was the end of the 90s was very aggressive.
Very aggressive. And I think this helped, like, even out the field, and so it's like, and then plus you'd go to the shows. I mean, they only played once or twice, I think, in Northern California, right? At the Independent, that show. Okay. Yeah, they didn't play. Maybe they came out. I remember it wasn't.
I think they came after a few times.
Yeah.
I know Corey booked him just a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean they were on tour. I saw them at Ruido Fest. What, 4 or 5 years? No, maybe more. I don't know.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right, man. With all that testosterone y masculinity que estaba sucediendo a finales de los 90s, the disco, funk, acid jazz was a breath of fresh air.
Oh man! So what was even sexier is going to see these vatos and And I think that's emblematic of like un buen cantante, un representante de la música que toca. And if you went to see Los Amigos Invisibles and you were in front on stage, you would see this vato wearing some nice white tight jeans or something, maybe even, some flares at the bottom, nice buckle, and you noticed it.
Yeah, he was looking sharp.
Hey, tell me more about the Cadillac show, dude.
Oh yeah, how'd that go?
Man, hold on, I need to groove to the intro of.
Okay.
Such a fucking cool jam, man.
These guys did it too.
We used to play a lot of Ilya Kuriaki when they first came out.
Was it sarcasm? Was it like
Was it our sarcasm? No, you understand. Like, we were all fans of Beastie Boys.
Yeah.
So when Ilya Kuriaki came out, some of the rolas sounded like reminiscent of Paul's Boutique, exactly, or the like. So to me, it was like igual como Amigos Invisibles. It was a little bit different than what was going on, and Mi Vecindad in general was different from everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
And still,
we had some rival radio stations, great ones, but they tended to play more of the same old hits, and we always pushed the envelope in every direction. No nomás in punk and ska or metal, or we'd lo que era alternativo en nuestro idioma, we'd like pursue it, play it, push it, and let it breathe, a mover el culo.
We dared to like, we dared to play these songs, they were important to us. I think that's another thing. It's like they really were important.
Artistic expression.
Yeah. And no dejamos.
Yo me acuerdo a un punto en lo que era 97, 98, we had a huge listening base of Anglo kids. They would, how many times would they call and just be turning the dial? Because back then it was dials.
All right.
And go, what is the name of that song?
Ooh, yeah.
Who's playing that song? Yeah. Whether it be Cadillacs, or it be Dos Minutos, Ilya Kuriaki, whatever. It was always very random,
Yeah.
And in la opinión mía, that's when we were really doing our job. When you're turning on somebody who didn't care that it was in a different language and wanted to know where they can get that single.
You asked about Los Cadillacs.
Yeah.
You reminded me of something. I was on my way on an Uber, Lyft, whatever, those cars, taxis, ride share, whatever. Anyway, and had a conversation with the driver, and he's from he said, where was he from? From like, it's between Iran and like Russia. There's a little country, right?
There's a lot of little countries. There's Kazakhstan. There's there's a lot.
Yeah, and it might have been Kazakhstan, maybe. Anyway, and then so I told him, I said, hey, the music, it's at the time it was considered they called it rock in español, rock in Spanish. And he said, why would you call it in Spanish? And it was like, you're right. It's just rock music. Yeah, rock music's rock.
Nuestra raza, myself included, en lo que era el norte de América, California specifically, Texas, Chicago, whatever, we called it rock en español because to us it was like ours. But everybody else in the world, it was just rock.
Ok. Eso fue el set que nombré para que se mochen, dedicado a los nalgones y las nalgonas.
Chingas.
Ilya Kuriaki y los Valderramas, la rola Culo del álbum Culo del álbum Leche que salió en 99. Es un dúo de Buenos Aires. Lo que es interesante de esta banda es que originalmente empezaron como Latin hardcore rap y ya después en la carrera se cambiaron el sonido un poco a lo que están escuchando, el hip hop y funk.
Mm-hmm. Well, tenían toques like that even on the first album.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they did have toques like that on the first album. The funny thing is they had a huge connection with the Cadillacs, which Dr. G is going to play next.
Fíjate, muy interesante. Tuve la oportunidad de, cuando me mandaron la lista, Diabólico, I thought old school, I thought regreso al 1996, right? I thought
that's what I was going for.
That's what I was feeling it. I love the sexiness that you brought. Mi Vecindad has always had sexiness in it. It's part of our little darky, a little drepere,
a little sloppy.
Woo! Little sloppy, a little gutter punk at time, very street, quién sabe, le damos a todo.
Do not purge.
Le damos a todo. I had an opportunity to go see Los Cadillacs este fin de semana, and it was amazing. What was amazing about it is el nivel, ¿no? de cómo han llegado grupos como Caifanes, grupos como Héroes doesn't play anymore, as Héroes, es Bomburi, but Los Cadillacs, Auténticos Decadentes, Maldita. It's just amazing that they are being represented the way they are and honored, I think. Ese tipo de respeto. Cuando escuché Vasos Vacíos, el primero, este álbum de los argentinos, from 1993, ¿no?
Well, they had just gotten Celia Cruz to do a cover, not a cover, with a collab with them.
A collab. And so, if you think about it, cuando salió esto en esa época, originalmente la canción Vasos Vacíos came out in 88. The Vasos Vacíos album with Celia Cruz, la reina de la salsa, she's the queen of salsa, was part of it. It was just so beautiful, so emblematic of what you were talking about earlier, Chivo. When you played Caifanes to your mom, La Negra Tomasa, and she enjoyed it. This was Cadillac's version, I suppose, representing, Argentina, representing Cuba, representing our culture, representing our roots. Es lo que sentí esa noche.
There was something beautiful, beautiful going on con los grupos del 85, 86 hasta 90. Por unos 10, 15 años, that movement was insane, not just in lo que era Latinoamérica, en los Estados Unidos, Inglaterra. I mean, you name it. I mean, it was like you could look at groups like, look at The Cure right now. Been around just like a few years longer than Caifanes and still selling out arenas.
Yeah. Vamos a terminar esta noche regresando esa sensación de los 90s, de lo que es y sigue siendo Mi Vecindad, así como nos recordó el Hombre de Bala. Seguimos con la música y la cultura de lo alternativo aquí en Mi Vecindad. Terminamos con Vasos Vacíos de los fabulosos Cadillacs.
La próxima semana vamos a estar vivo en Watsonville at the Slough.
No.
Is it called the Slough Brewing?
No. We're going to be at Cerveceros Unidos.
Cerveceros Unidos. Ooh, that sounds dangerous.
Cerveceros Unidos.
That sounds dangerous.
We're going to interview the brewers. So
nice.
We're going to beer. We're going to have some beers. We're going to have happy hour all day. So
That's
we're going to have happy hour on
dangerous.
Thursday. So acompáñanos next week. El Thursday vamos a hacer live. We hardly ever do live. I think it's been years since we do actually.
It's been a long time since we did live.
So we're going to be live in Watsonville. Ahí va a haber más información en las páginas. Y se les recuerda también que Chencha's playing this weekend, a free show at the House of Blues. It's sold out.
I'm so bummed out that I missed Chencha like 2 weeks ago. I don't want to talk about it.
Because I didn't.
Hey, I want to give a shout out.
You didn't tell us, dude.
I do. I know.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to some people que se están reportando. Shout out to Jasmine Najera y Anabel Naveres Rubalcaba. Anabel shares with us, I totally got sexy vibes from the first song. Amigos, sexy for sure. That song is in my Cachondo playlist along with Lucha de Gigantes de Nacha Pop.
Nacha Pop.
Yeah.
Old school.
That's totally like vamos a la disco a escuchar rock en español and then you get all happy. You continue the music at home. You know what I mean?
I listen to Hombres K when I get out there, dude.
Saludos, chula. Jasmine, nos vemos next week. Nos vemos en Watsonville, ¿no? Bueno, nos despedimos.
Ok, hasta la próxima, muchachos. Agur.
Se cuidan, raza.
Mi vecindad.
So I'm thinking for next week, let's just play just
you wanna
bangers.
Do you want to shut it off? G?
Good night, Facebook, or wherever we were.